So I've been looking at the output of our videos over the last several months, and I've decided, we need more depressing stories, something that's more angst-inducing, something not so happy as the general good news of advancing civilization that we see on a daily basis here at the videos that we produce at BillWhittle.com. I'm actually being facetious. Hi, everybody. I'm Bill Whittle here with Steve Green and Scott Ott. And so I decided we would throw things in the opposite direction and go as close to the cotton candy as we possibly can, just this one time, just so we don't all choke on our own angst. I was watching YouTube with my lovely wife, and I just decided, what is the most popular video on YouTube? It's very likely one of mine. Let me just see. Turns out it's not even close. Now, there was a video on YouTube that showed, starting in 2012, I think, showed every single video ranked in order, including the total number of views, and watching this thing was fantastic. Here's a little bit of it at high speed, much faster than it is really. And it's fascinating to watch these videos, but along comes, this is doing well, and Justin Bieber's doing well, and then Gangnam Style comes out of nowhere and blows ahead of everybody by like almost 1 billion views, stays dominant for something like 1,400 consecutive days, then something else passes it, and so on and so on. And then all of a sudden, just as you're getting to the end of the video, which was, I want to say November 2nd of 2020, something comes out of nowhere, just blows past everything. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are now going to take a moment to present you with just a few moments of the most popular video on YouTube with 8.3, 8.7, something like that, billion views. We'll give you just a little bit of it because, to be perfectly honest with you, if you stay with it the whole thing, the plot doesn't particularly thicken. Scott, when I saw this, I thought, my God, we're doomed. This is the most popular video, 8 billion views. That's every single person on earth watching it once, or the 8 kids who are in the building across from you in the other apartment building, each one of the 8 of them listening to it 1 billion times. And I suspect it's actually closer to that. But then I thought, actually, I'm serious now. If this is the most popular video on the internet, something this harmless, something this fun and light and so on, we're not in such deeply serious trouble after all, are we?
It's funny. Until this day, I had never seen a video of that song, but I knew the song very well because I had a lot of interaction with children in various ways, not only from my own children, but I was executive director of a Christian children's camp for about 5 years. And so I just had a lot of contact with people who knew this song and would sing it incessantly, and it annoyed me then. It's not any less annoying in this video, although I like the bright colors, and who doesn't love cute kids? And so that right. They're delightful. It's kind of weird, you got to admit, where you have these cute little kids who are continually in jeopardy from the giant teeth of an approaching shark. And somehow this is a cute little thing about mommy and daddy and grandma and all this kind
and
of
here
stuff.
They come to kill us, and thank God we're safe.
That's right. So, that it actually does encourage me, and it reminds me of something I read in an obituary, believe it or not, in the past week. We lost Gavin MacLeod, who first became famous by being Murray Slaughter on the Mary Tyler Moore Show in the early 1970s, and then went immediately from that very, very successful program into another very successful program, Love Boat, where he was Captain Stubing aboard the Love Boat. And when the Love Boat was out, the critics just eviscerated it. They just said, what a bunch of shallow cotton candy fluff. And Gavin MacLeod's response to that was, what's wrong with people having a nice time and for happy endings at the resolution of the show, it's going to be a happy ending? What's wrong with sitting down in front of the TV and knowing that your half hour or an hour spent in this enterprise is going to make you feel better about yourself than when you first started watching the show? My wife and I are currently binge watching Grey's Anatomy. And at the beginning, I was like, oh, these are delightful people in interesting situations. And now, I don't know how far into it we are at this point. I hate every single one of these characters at this point. Because they're all like this close from slitting their own wrists or somebody else's. And so I think that it's great that people are taking this tool of the internet and generating things that just make people smile. I mean, the other night I was on TikTok and there was this guy who posted a video of his dog coming home from the vet or something. And he figured his dog was going to be so happy to see him and was going to come running over. And the wife opens the car door. And the dog, instead of running immediately to its owner, ran immediately to a gigantic pile of leaves. I mean, like a 9-foot high pile of leaves, and immediately just jumped right into the pile of leaves and disappeared.
Happy dog.
It's awesome.
And I laughed at that, and my wife happened to be watching over my shoulder, and she laughed, and I thought, that's just nice. I mean, what's wrong with nice? And believe it or not, I don't watch a whole lot of entertaining videos except for the little like 15-second things you see on TikTok. But when I'm on YouTube, I'm either watching some sort of instructional video on how to do something I'm trying to learn, or I'm watching music videos. And so my two favorite YouTube videos that I've probably gone back to over and over and over again, one is by a group, which I've seen many of their videos, called Postmodern Jukebox. And it's this guy who basically takes new songs and puts them into an old style like big band or ragtime or something like that, and then finds a musician he's got a band, plus he gets somebody to sing it. And there's a singer whose name is Haley Reinhart who they do a version of Creep, the Radiohead song, and it's magnificent. And I've probably watched this thing, I don't know how many times. It's embarrassing how many times I watch it. And then there's another video that was actually done by the 4 judges at that point on the TV show The Voice, Blake Shelton and Miley Cyrus and Alicia Keys and Adam Levine, all did a version of Aerosmith's Dream On. And believe it or not, when Blake Shelton comes in on his line on that song, this country singer coming in on this Aerosmith song, I get chills every time. And it's just fantastic. Is this going to help me better understand politics or economics or philosophy or anything? No, it makes me feel good. And I like feeling good.
Let's take a quick look at one of those so we all know what Scott's talking about.
I don't care if it hurts. I want to have control. I want the perfect body. Want a perfect soul. And I want you to notice when I'm not around. You're so very special.
Scott, what Captain Stupid was saying is what they said about Gilligan's Island, too, that it was just utter fluff and utter garbage, and it came in last in the rating. And I don't have any idea what the shows that beat it were, and I will never know what the shows that beat it were. But everybody knows Gilligan's Island for the rest of their lives if you're a certain age. Steve, this has turned into kind of a, hey, what do you like kind of thing, but I watch almost nothing but videos, user-created content. I don't watch really any TV or any kind anymore. I think that's where the real creativity is. I was wondering if you had a favorite video you could share with us.
Yes, I do. Before I get to that, though, just a couple of things. One, I want to defend Gilligan's Island. I read a essay or a short book, I can't remember which, years ago, called Gilligan Unbound, which was this sort of stirring defense of Gilligan's Island. And it's so interesting because the author is right. There's a reason the left hates Gilligan's Island, and it's not because it's just a cute, vapid sitcom, although it's that for sure. But the premise of the show is that you can take 7 Americans, I think it was 7 Americans, stick them on a desert island, and they will form a functioning civil society automatically. And there's a kind of brilliance to that concept and a truth to that concept. So yes, it's vapid and silly. Yes, I love the debate, Ginger or Mary Ann. Embrace the healing power of and. But at its core, it really does reflect some of the best in America, and I just love that. I'd also like to say I think you're wrong about the Baby Shark dance video. I don't know if you ever saw Serenity, the movie sequel to the short-lived Firefly science fiction TV show. I love that. But if you remember, River Tam, the character Summer Glau played, who was this young girl who had been abused by the government and turned into this killer spy assassin character who could be triggered. And she was triggered in the movie by this really cutesy video. So I'm convinced that the reason that Baby Shark Dance has got 8 billion plays right now is the government is looking for the right person to trigger. And when she's triggered, she's going to kill us all. Mark
it's a
my
recruitment
words.
video
Yeah.
for the secret assassination cabal that rules the earth.
Exactly. So just
Okay.
heads up.
What else you got?
You've been warned.
You got
My all-time favorite video, in high school in my early 20s, I read way too much Ayn Rand. It's okay, I got better. I read a lot of Robert Heinlein at the same time, and I somehow made both of those work in my brain at the same time, which should tell you something about me. But Rand could occasionally just really nail something so well that I go back even now and reread it. And there was an essay, a short essay, in which she talked about her love of tap dance. You're thinking, Ayn Rand, the dour Russian-American philosopher, what the hell? And the thing is, what she wrote about it is absolutely true. She said that tap is just an expression of joy and happiness and precision in the movement of the human body. You can't be sad tap dancing or watching tap. It's just impossible. And she even made the argument that tap is a form of art that could only have originated in America. And I think she's right about that too. And so with that in mind, my favorite YouTube video of all time, I hope you've seen this. It's Uptown Funk, or I should say, it's old movie stars dance to Uptown Funk. And I think the reason why this video has been watched 60 million times, it's no Gangnam Style, I admit, but 60 million times, is because it takes this joyous American art form that has music that is pretty stodgy by modern standards and cuts it in to a completely modern song like Uptown Funk. And not only does this bring audiences in who would never have seen these dance routines from these old movies, but it shows to modern audiences that there is a timelessness to this entertainment from the 1930s, 40s, and 50s.
That these 30s and 40s people could really, really rock it. They were phenomenal dancers.
They were amazing. What they did was timeless, and you can put it to any music in the world as long as it's something happy and thrilling. And that's exactly what they did here, and I adore it.
Let's take a quick peek.
Man, I'm too hot. Say my name, you know who I am. I'm too hot. And my band bought that money. Break it down. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Girls hit you, hallelujah. 'Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. 'Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. 'Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Saturday night and we in the spot. Don't believe me, just watch. 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 Hey, 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 oh!
Well, as I said at the beginning, it looked like Gangnam Style, that bizarre, unbelievably catchy tune from Korean artist Psy, was going to run the table forever. It turned out it got passed, but nevertheless, we were talking about this on our backstage show, and Gangnam Style is fascinating to me. I watched it again last night with my wife because we both love it. And you've got a guy here who is a short, pudgy, not particularly attractive guy singing in a foreign language, and It got seen by billions and billions of people. And we were talking about this as why. And it's because he sells it. There's not a frame in that video where Psy is not selling that video. He is 100% committed to that thing. There's no sense of I'm going to protect myself or maybe I'll take this ironically. He's all the way there, all the time. And that's why that video did as well as it did, because he was just selling it. Which brings me to my favorite video, which is what we'll leave you with. As it turns out, I love the song. I love Gangnam Style. I just like the whole video. But I think probably the most Bill Whittle video on the internet is not a Bill Whittle video. It's one I'm about to show you called Gangnam Shooter, where the guys who launch F-18s and all other different kinds of aircraft off the deck of a Nimitz-class nuclear carrier are doing their job to Gangnam Style. I'm going to play a bit of it for you, but the reason I like it is not just because of all the cool jet stuff and not just because of all the cool dancing combined and all the rest of it. I like this video better than anything on the internet because to me, it shows you what the essence of the U.S. military really is. It is an all-volunteer force of professionals who nevertheless are individuals. They're not robots. They're not part of the great war machine that's out there. They're just very capable, very competent guys doing a very dangerous job, having fun doing that job, and yet not having so much fun that they get killed, because it is, in fact, the most dangerous place on the face of the earth. If you're going to dance to Gangnam Style and really risk having your head cut off, this is the place to do it. And that's why I love this video. We'll take a quick look and we'll see you next time on Right Angle.
Gangnam Style. 오빤 Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style. 오빤 Gangnam Style. Hey, sexy lady. 오빤 Gangnam Style. Hey, sexy lady. 뛰는 놈, 그 위에 나는 놈. Baby, baby, 나는 뭘 좀 아는 놈. 뛰는 놈, 그 위에 나는 놈. Baby, baby, 나는 뭘 좀 아는 놈. You know what I'm saying? 오빤 Gangnam Style. Hey, sexy lady. 오빤 Gangnam Style. Hey, sexy lady. 오빤 Gangnam Style.